Welcome back. It's a new day, everyone, which means we have some more quests for our field study. So here we got shots fired for Chief Sandy. Those of us at Reinford's second factory have developed a new type of orbital gun, and we'd like to have it tested. Speak with me in RF Arms if you fancy giving it a shot. Because gun, yeah. You must be the students from Thors. Thank you for coming. I assume you must be Sandy. That's right. Though I wasn't expecting Lady Elisa to be accompanying you. I've seen you a few times over the years, but it's an honor to meet you in person. That's very kind of you. Well then, allow me to tell you a bit about myself. As you know, my name is Sandy, and I serve as chief of the second factory's firearms development division. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to work with you. Thank you. The pleasure's all ours. It must be tough for Elisa around here sometimes. Yeah, she's practically a celebrity here in Roer. As you might have gathered, I need your help combat testing a new kind of orbital firearm. Specifically, I require the assistance of someone familiar with the use of orbital firearms in combat. So would one of you be able to help? Yeah, we got 3 people who can do that. We'd be happy to help. Excellent. Well then, to begin, what kind of gun would you prefer? What do you mean? I assumed you were just going to give us whatever you had ready. Terribly sorry, I probably should have explained. Technically, I'm not asking you to test a gun, but rather a device that goes inside it. It's called an orbital unit. And what it does, it shaves off these small metal pieces and fires them at sort of like near light speed. So it's highly effective at doing like impact precision shots so fast. It barely uses anything. We call it the mass effect, the orbital field. Yes. And what is that exactly? I'm sure you're all aware that orbital firearms use orbital energy to propel their bullets. I was joking. Orbital units are their internal mechanisms responsible for producing that orbital energy. After much arduous research, we finally developed a brand new kind of orbital unit. As such, the model of gun it will be installed in makes little difference. For this test, any type will do. I do wonder, how do orbital guns work? I wonder if it is actually like the joke I was doing, like they're the Mass Effect guns, which they do have like this stock of metal inside the guns, at least. In Mass Effect 1 they do. Then it just shaves off a little tiny, maybe a shaving of this piece of metal, and then fires it using the Mass Effect field at such high velocity, like I was saying, it causes a massive impact. I'm wondering if orbital guns do a similar thing. Because we never see them really using bullets or anything like that. So I'm just wondering, we've seen bullets from other guns, but I'm just wondering if, that's how this technology is developing. Maybe. Again, it's the same thing with the orbital bikes. I want to know how it works. I just interested. Huh, okay. So what you're saying is the orbital unit is basically the engine and the gun's the car. Precisely, a very accurate comparison. Oh, really? Alright, I think we get it now. So, what are our choices gun-wise? I brought 3 with me, a shotgun, a pistol, and a pair of gun swords. If you'll forgive me, I did a little research on your weapons of choice. Tests like these are best performed by those with a degree of proficiency. That's true. It wouldn't be a very useful test if your tester was uncomfortable with the weapon in question. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks. You even brought something for me. So what is it exactly that you want the tester to do? Ah, yes, I do have a specific test that I would like you to conduct. Specifically, I need you to defeat a number of dancing owls, a kind of monster found on the Saxon mountain path. 10 of them should do. Dancing owls? Their name doesn't sound terribly threatening, but they are highly agile bird-like monsters, which makes them perfect targets to test firearms on. The tester won't need to defeat them alone, but he or she must be the one to deal the finishing blow. Understood. How are you guys going to decide who gets to test the orbital unit? Well, how about you pick, fearless leader? Sounds good to me. I'm fine with that as well. Sounds like that's settled. You know, I don't always have to make these decisions. I think you're just going to have to accept it. Alright then. In that case... V! The targets are agile bird-like monsters. Considering how fast V is with her gun swords, taking them down should be no problem. So, do you want to be a tester, V? Okay. Sounds as though you made up your mind. Here's your test weapon. See what you think. Sure. Black Raid. That should do nicely. Should we head over to the test area then? Yeah, I'm ready. Alright, let's get going then. Saxon Mountain Path is where we went to get to the mine, right? You got it. The exit's near the airport. Shots fired. Best of luck conducting the test. Come back and let me know when you defeated 10 dancing owls. That's the 10th dancing owl. Request complete. Seems so. Good job. Let's report back to Sandy at the RF Arms store. Completed the testing, I see. How did it go? Any significant problems? Nuh-uh. I see. That's excellent news. How did the test weapon feel to use? Was it as powerful as you hoped? Wasn't any harder to use than anything I've used before, which was good. Did a lot more damage too. Guess your company knows their stuff? Really? I'm relieved to hear that. Sounds like it won't be long before we begin mass production then. Surprised you haven't started already. Yeah, sounds like the new unit is pretty much perfect as it is. We still need to complete a long-term endurance test, I'm afraid. There are strict procedures which need to be followed in order for a weapon to be declared fit for sale. They're much more intensive than the requirements for consumer goods. Well, all the weaponry is generally designed to be sold in bulk to the Imperial Army, so naturally, standards need to be higher. Precisely. But your testing helps us take a big step towards completion. So thank you very much for your assistance today. Here is your reward. Goggles! Thank you very much. Oh wait, I haven't given the gun swords back. Oh, that won't be necessary. Consider that an additional reward for your help. And it has a chance to cause death, so you know it's very, very good. That orbital unit was designed purely for test purposes, so we couldn't use it for a finished product regardless. Cool. If that's everything, we should probably be going. Yes, of course. Thank you again. Hope this won't be the last time we work together. I mean, why that's so good for Fee is if you look at like her status here. So we can get her stats. She's got 54% evasion, which then obviously you take into effect here with Falco. We get immediately shining. So, you know, we get insight at the start of the battle. So, you know, basically we're going to evade stuff. If we evade stuff and then we get a counter and then we get a counter that actually hits properly with her weapon, which is the Black Raid, we have a 10% chance to cause death. Yeah, it works very well. It's the best way to put it. It works very, very well. Crying over lost milk. Milk is missing. Could you please help us find our beloved little kitty? Any would-be heroes should come to me at my house next to Dining Bar F. Vanilla. Excuse me, are you Vanilla? We're students from Thors Military Academy. Did you say Thors? Does that mean you're the Class VII students who helped my husband yesterday? That would be us. Then that must mean that your husband is Chief Johan, then. That's right. Thank you ever so much for helping him. What a funny coincidence this is. My daughter, Mint, attends Thors too. Mint from the Wind Orchestra? I do think that's her club of choice. Does that mean you're part of it too? Yeah, Mint and I get along really well. She makes practices a lot of fun. That's one way of putting it. Ah, that's so sweet of you. It's great to know she's made such nice friends over there. But back on topic. Would you be willing to help me? Our cat, Milk, has gone missing, and now I need your help to find her. accept her request, obviously. We'll find her. If we're going to find a lost cat, when did she go missing? It was 2 nights ago. I was making dinner like I usually do, and decided that I would try and make something a little different. So I decided I'd try using an ingredient I'd never seen before. When I did, an odor pungent enough to burn off your eyelashes started coming from the pot. You said you'd never seen this ingredient before. I wonder if it was actually something edible. So then what happened? Well, my survival instinct was telling me to air out the room, so I left the door open for a while to try and get rid of the smell. While it was open, milk seems to have gotten out, probably to get away from the smell. So you haven't seen her since. What does she look like? A cat. Yes. Well, she has orange and white fur, and she's wearing a yellow collar. She's also extremely cautious, and doesn't really like people very much. So I imagine that she's probably somewhere without many people nearby. See. Sounds like we should mainly search outdoors then. Is there anything else you can tell us that may help us find her? Well, she loves to crawl under things. Don't know why, but it seems to relax her when she does that. Okay then. Well, that's just how cats are. I know how she feels. You do? Well, anyway, that should be enough information to get started with. Does that mean you're going to try to find her then? Of course we are. We'll get started right away. Crying over lost milk. Good luck finding our sweet little milk. She's a little shy around people, so bringing her back might be kind of a challenge though. Here she is. I never would have thought to look under this bench. Yeah, it's an easy spot to miss. Now the question is how we're going to get her to come back with us. It's a double exclamation then. Not anymore, it's not. Cautious is right. Who's cautious? We didn't have a chance. Well, let's head after her. Another bench, huh? Can't let her get away again. So, who's gonna try and catch her? Double exclamation. I'm out of here! And there she goes. You just had to say the word catch. Hey, don't go blaming this on me. This request keeps getting tougher and tougher. Well, what do you know? She's under another bench. We need to be really careful this time. Yeah. Should probably start by spreading out so she has nowhere to run. Oops. She really is fast. She ran into the station. So, are we doing the same? Yeah, if we let someone at the station know what we're doing, I'm sure they'll let us in to look for her. They explained what was happening to a station employee and were permitted to investigate inside the station. Eventually, they narrowed down the cat's location to a single stopped train car. This definitely looks like the right train car. Let's take a look then, shall we? Where? Ooh, frame rate is... It's fine this way, but then you turn around, it's like, it drops. You can see the juttering, it's very, very odd. I wonder why. That's the thing, it's like, it's not off-putting or anything like that, it's like, I just wonder why. Is it because of the kitty? No, the kitty's not causing it. I'm just wondering if there's something over there that's causing the frame rate to stutter. It's like, Here she is. There's nowhere to run this time. Doesn't seem like a smart idea to get any closer, though. At this rate, we're not going to be able to get her back home. If only I had my thingy with me. Your what? She's talking about one of these. Crow pulled out a chick cat toy out of his pocket. Why do you have one? Victory goes to the prepared. Why do you even have that? You're always carrying it around? Huh, but you never know when it's going to come in handy. Yeah, kitty kitty. Crow started playing with the cat. Well, look at that. Even animals find me irresistible. Doesn't look like we'll have any trouble taking her back to her owner now. Thank you so much for bringing her back. Meow. See? Look how happy she is to be back. She's right at home here. Maybe that's because this is her home. I'm sure she's relieved to be back. I don't know what we would have done without you. Thank you all so much. Here, take these as your reward. I made them myself. Ooh. Thanks. These look great. Can't exactly say I'm thrilled to try these. Yeah, same here. They do seem edible, at least. Well, thank you again. And at long last, we will have an answer to my question. It's on the 24th. Thank you, Valcom. I'm happy. It's like, that's all I needed to know. It's like, was it the 23rd or the 24th? So it was the 24th. Like, okay, cool. Sounds as though the provincial army and the Roer military police had a little argument yesterday. They've been at each other's throats for a while now. But they're professionals. They know better than to do stuff that makes the townsfolk uneasy. Can you now? If I took my clients on vacation, I'm sure that would make for quite the spectacle. Can I interest you in optional extras? For instance, we can install some floating components that will allow you to land on the surface of the water. Can you now? Apparently, Sharon was personally scouted by the chairman herself. And just watching her, I can see why. That's one capable lady. She was there to welcome the chairman back home at 2 a.m. last night, too. 2 a.m.? I wish you all the best with your field study today, though I might recommend staying away from the provincial army and the Roer military police, especially after the tense argument between them yesterday. Chairman Arena left early this morning. It's becoming increasingly more challenging not to be concerned about the sheer frequency of her business trips. But I suppose it's certainly not my place to be worrying about her. Thank you so much, Chief. I'm so sorry about this. This is the last time you hear. If you don't at least try to stick to our development budget, it's gonna be my neck on the line. I really am sorry. Anyway, thank you again for yesterday. I really appreciate you taking the time to help me out. The Orbital Revolution led to the Rhineford group increasing exponentially in size. In order to better manage that, it was divided into 4 huge divisions. It was Gwyn, the former chairman, who was responsible for that. He's the man who made Rhineford what it is today. Incidentally, the current chairman, Arena, was the one who then introduced a new self-supporting accounting system. That's made each of the 4 divisions even more profitable than they would be otherwise. My company supplies factories with various goods and materials, so an industrial town like Roer makes for a perfect business opportunity. I'd love for the rest of Erebonia to look just like this someday. Yeah, I don't advise that. I keep telling Papri not to listen to the old radio while working, but she refuses to pay me any mind. Very well, if that's how she's going to be, I'll have no choice but to confiscate it. Apparently, the Roer Orbital radio station was started by students. It was apparently a student venture or something. It must be nice to be that smart. It'd be foolish to try to deny that Arena Rhineford is a skilled businesswoman. But that doesn't change the fact that she stole the company from the former chairman. And he's her blood father at that. Blood father? That's a phrase you don't hear in this game that much. I can't condone that kind of thing. Blood father. Now that you've tested the orbital unit in combat, We just need to wait for the results of the endurance test. It's been a long time coming, but we're almost done. The rival group is so big. There's a lot going on that even employees like me don't know about. Chief Sandy and my superiors will probably know more than I do. Sorry, I'm not that much help. That's just the way the rival group is. Our orbital remote-controlled car's only problem is that it runs out of energy in 5 minutes. But if we can make it last longer, it'll sell like hotcakes. I know it will. As a toy, of course. Who cares about seminars? All I care about is improving this car and starting a business. I spent most of last year playing Blade, and I spent most of this year focused on the remote-controlled car. I should probably be more worried about whether I have enough credits to graduate. But if I don't, hey, another year of this. Being a researcher isn't about grades anyway. It's about passion. And we want our research and inventions to revolutionize people's lives. Ask any student here, and they'll tell you the same. That's what we all dream of. Also why we all look up to Professor Schmidt and former Rhineford Chairman Gwyn. Those two made the dream a reality. Wouldn't it be wonderful to have your invention change the world? It's every student's dream. We're researching technology that could potentially be used in weapons too. Things like what happened yesterday really make you stop and think about where exactly your research is going. What, you mean the standoff yesterday evening? Yeah, I heard about it too. Provincial Army's armored cars were made here in Roer. So it's sick that they were used to intimidate people like that. Sometimes, students here end up making significant inventions which go on to make a large impact on people's lives. For example, a group of students here established the Empire's very first radio station. More recently, a student here invented a device called a orbital washing machine. When the rifle company saw it, they were more than happy to bring it to the mass market. All the students here are really devoted to their research. Hope that never changes. Not only was Professor Schmidt a disciple of the famous Professor Epstein, he founded this institute 50 years ago to spread orbital technology across Erebonia. Ever since, this institute has been the center of the orbital development here in the Empire. The Rhineford Company might get all the press, but when it comes to fundamental research, this institute comes out on top. Speaking of Professor Schmidt's numerous contacts, he's an old friend of the former Rhineford Company chairman, Gwyn. So this institute and Rhineford Company came to share technology with one another. This institute focuses on orbital research, whereas the Rhineford Company implements said research into actual products. The Rhineford Company has always been a major weapons manufacturer, but the orbital revolution led to the company expanding into other fields too. Now it's one of the few internationally renowned companies on the continent, with more money than most major nobles. As you can imagine, that makes the situation with Marquis Rogner a little bit awkward. Apparently, the Rhineford Company is going to be treated as a special case when the tax hike comes in too. After all, even a 1% tax increase means that the company is going to be paying a few $100 million more mirror. It was thanks to Gran that I was able to open this bar in the first place. I'd always dreamed of owning a place like this. I just can't begin to thank him enough. It wasn't easy though. We've had to put our feelings aside to make it a reality. Sometimes, I wonder if we did the right thing. Almina's dream was a beautiful one. I'm proud to say that I was able to help bring it to fruition. Now that I have, I need nothing more. I want only to bask in her radiance. I'm researching orbital wave-based communications technology. The Epstein Foundation in Le Mans State is unquestionably the leader in the field, but a variety of different terminals are being researched all across the continent, Rhineford's Arcus included. I'm not going to sit around twiddling my thumbs as other people surpass me. I'm so glad Milk is back home. So Milk, how about I treat you to some of my special home cooking tonight? Meow? She seems kind of traumatized. Purr. The city of Roer was designed to be divided into two areas, the upper level and the lower level. But a design like that means that you can fit twice as many buildings into it as you could otherwise. Marvelous, isn't it? Functional beauty at its finest. Alright, kid. Really want to study at the Institute of Technology when I'm older. I'd love the chance to study the city's functional beauty, even create more of it myself. Apparently, Lady Angelica and her father, the Marquis, aren't exactly on the best of terms. If it weren't for that, I'm sure she'd come and visit us occasionally too. There's nobody like Lady Angelica. That's what makes her so wonderful. Marquis Rogner and Chairman Arena of the Rhineford Company are considered to be this region's representatives. And yet I've never seen either of them in the cathedral. Honestly. Do they not have a shred of faith between them? Ever since the self-supporting accounting system was introduced, profits just keep going up and up. But the workload follows with it. Still, I don't want the other divisions to do better than ours either, so I'll be heading back to work shortly. Guess I might as well say my prayers before I get out of here. Sister Sue keeps glaring at me a lot lately. She's starting to scare me. The city of Roer owes its development to the manufacture of arms and munitions. As you can imagine, men of the cloth, such as myself, have mixed feelings about that. Hopefully the people of Roer won't forget what it means to think of others because their city is built on death. I'm afraid I know very little about the internal affairs of the Rhineford Company. Chairman Arena and the other higher-ups aren't exactly frequent visitors to our church. If you could find some use in hearsay, however, I've heard that their internal conflicts are so fierce that even the chairman can no longer bring them under control. Perhaps it was the goddess's guidance that brought you back here now, Elisa. I pray that all of you will be able to play some role in resolving this. Another day, another opportunity to serve his lordship. It's only thanks to Chancellor Osborne that this nation's railway network has been expanded as much as it has. It's made it that much easier for people and goods to move all over the country. Thinking about it, this country really has changed significantly since the railway network was first established. This country has really changed since the empire-wide railway network expansion. It don't just mean that life's a bit more convenient. Feels like there are more independent-minded commoners now, too. The first and second factories really aren't getting along lately. We seem to get a different set of orders every 5 minutes. It's really taking it out on me. We're supposed to be producing more or less. We've been told both. Just tell me one thing and let me stick with it. That Roer airport truly is a magnificent structure. I suppose Rhineford was responsible for building that as well. They're one incredible company, that's for sure. We're on our way to the station from the airport right now. Apparently the station is huge, too. Erebonians really do love everything to be gigantic, don't they? I've just received word from the mansion that Lady Annabelle has been sighted in the Gram. I must hurry there at once. Wait for me, my lady. I am on my way. You probably missed her. Roer's factories are consuming more and more energy every year. Lots of people believe that at the rate we're going to need a couple more generators. But new infrastructure like that is the first factory's job. Looks like there's going to be a tax hike here in the Norcia province soon. Wouldn't that hurt the Rhineford Company? Guess that's why it's been postponed for the time being. Here's hoping that the chairman could stop it from happening altogether. Here's hoping that Arena can keep the tax hike from happening at all. My grandma's not the only one who wants our shop to outdo the Rhineford store. It's hard not to feel competitive when they're right across the street. When it comes to drawing customers in, there's no one better. Partially because that's all I know how to do. Welcome to Erebonia, where we always want to see you smile. You won't find better prices anywhere, so come in and take a look around. You're sure to find something you want. We can't be beat, not even by Rhineford. That's our motto. Might not have the best ring to it, but it comes from the heart. They might be a huge industrial company, But all the fancy technology in Cimmeria won't do you any good if you're hungry. We've got what we're good at, and Reinford's got what they're good at. They might be bigger, but that doesn't mean they're better. Welcome to the Roer branch of the RF store. The Reinford Company's products are known for being simple but beautiful, innovative but built to last. Our store has a lineup of the very latest Reinford products, each one providing quality that you can trust. Because the Reinford Company is also a weapons manufacturer, they tend to avoid disclosing unnecessary information. But now, thanks to the factional conflict worsening, the company's divisions won't even share technology with each other. Each division is essentially keeping their work a secret from the others. The chairman displayed a great deal of skill creating something as revolutionary as the Arcus in an environment like that. The Arcus contains all of the Reinford Company's latest and greatest technology. I doubt it would have been possible if the chairman wasn't personally involved. Where are you, Toddy? I can't find him today either. Why do you have to be so good at hiding from me? Must be nice working at the first factory like you do. Just seems to be getting bigger with the money steel brings in. The first factory is the only place laborers can get a bonus. I don't know what you're talking about. Sounds like your place is doing pretty well these days too. Everyone's talking about how the third factory's got some big project underway. The details are top secret though. Is it something like the Courageous? Well, that was a hint, wasn't it? Our Todd is always out playing with Lucomo from next door. Where is this next door anyway? It can be a little hellion though, so I do sometimes worry. I just hope he's not being mean to poor little Lucomo again. It's like, yeah, like next door, like where next door? It's like, this is the thing, it's like, I know they truncate and shrink down the places for convenience, etc., but it's like, there's only one next door to you, and that's Jackass's place. Just put a door there. I'd just be happy, even if you couldn't enter. Sounds like Gwen's daughter Irina is still keeping herself busy. If you ask me, her problem is that she's a little too smart. Nobody ever said being brainy always makes you happy. Hey, you there! This factory's off limits. This is where our army's tanks get made. Which I probably shouldn't have told you. Anyway, stay away from here, got it? Both of my parents died when I was younger. That was when Devance, who was a close friend of my dad's, decided to take me in and look after me. Might not be my actual father, but he's always wanted me to treat him like we're family. It's been 8 years now since he first took me in. It's kind of nostalgic thinking about it. You really do have a rough home life. Not that I can't relate. Guess these two have a lot in common. Yeah, but it's nice to know Elisa has at least one good friend back home. Alright, just a little more cleaning to do, then I need to go and work on getting the bucks done. He couldn't balance them to save his life anyway. He keeps me busy at the very least. Yes, this is your hiding spot though? He's not gonna find me. Especially if I keep switching hiding spots while he's looking for me. Reinford's made up of 4 big divisions, and they all compete with one another. Which might be manageable if the divisions themselves were more unified, but they're not. It's kind of a mess, to be honest. And then you've got the rumors there are actually 5 divisions instead of 4. Couldn't tell you if that's true or not, though. I'm just a humble factory worker. Yuna's parents both passed away, you see. That's why I came to take her in. She's a good kid, a hard worker, knows her maths, all that kind of stuff. But she's still just a kid at the end of the day. She'd be lost without me around. Gahahaha. Looks like those guys from the rump aren't coming today. Just to finish whatever investigation they were doing, I suppose. Well, if they're all done, I guess we can get back to business as usual. A long time ago, there was a cave in here in the mine. First person on the scene was Gwyn Reinford himself. He rounded up an army of engineers and medics, and together, they rescued every last one of us. All the old-timers who worked the mines back in those days still revere Gwyn because of what he did. My family's got to eat, so I got to work. Hi-ho, hi-ho. It's a sweaty job in the bowels of the earth, but someone's got to do it. Good grief, looks like I'll have to adjust our iron output again. Probably gonna have to review everyone's shifts again and let the boys up in central control know. Deep in the mine, there's a central control room where they run all the mining machinery from. This mine here has been in operation for over 200 years. It's gotten massive, so it's kind of necessary. Sounds like the provincial army and the Rump had themselves a little dispute yesterday. I wonder if that's why the military police haven't shown up today. Didn't look like they were done with us last time they were here, that's for sure. No matter how much you dig up and cart away, there's still loads of iron left. That's the Saxon iron mine for you. Don't wander around in here. You're likely to get yourselves lost. Every shaft is like its own maze, full of branches, dead ends, and loops. Well, that's us done with this part then. In the next part, we shall go off and exterminate a monster. So we'll see you then. Ta-ta for now.